Hello. We're at the part now where we're going to drop the subframe. I've made an executive decision to keep the differential on it because I think I can just drop the differential and subframe concurrently vis-a-vis apropos. In order to access the ginormous subframe bolts, you got to take the bottom, the base of the back seat out. It's not on that tight, it's really just there as a formality in case, you know, fly over the top of a hill in a San Francisco chase scene. The back seat doesn't pop up. Yeah.
Now, E34s will have a little kind of like a gelatinous plug thingy on it. The M5 doesn't. This is the head of the bolt. I don't know if the bolt can actually come out from there.
Just put the jack there because I think I'm gonna center balance it like about now. Maybe about now. But there is a sensor. There's a sensor right there. The back of the transmission. What? No, it's not. This is not transmission. Oh, this is also. Oh, wow. Did you see that? Did you see that little nugget that just fell off? Yeah, that's spendiferous. Give it a little bendy bend. Yeah, just 10 mil, 1/4 inch, long face. Why the long face? I don't know, it's kind of easier. Alright, I'm gonna do myself a favor and just hang it alongside this section, which is over here. Okay. That's surprisingly easy. I'm literally 4 millimeters, like the handle's swinging like 4 millimeters from the top of the camera. Alright, so those come out. They're not that long. So support thingies. This is a plate, and I don't know what goes in here. If anyone knows what this little, I don't think there's more optional nonsense you can get with this car. Because Lord knows they could have totally skipped the self-leveling system and just put regular suspension in there for brevity. Okay. Now that we're here, now what I'm gonna do. Goodness, the whole thing's moving. Does that? I'm just putting one of these back in because I don't need this thing helicoptering while I'm trying to loosen it. That's loose. I'm gonna do this. I'm gonna keep them, just loosen them because last time I saw what happened there. That wasn't pretty. You see my foot? There's my foot. There's the wall. And just go nice and easy. Whoa. Whoa. Yeah, that's great. Oh, good. Now for the 22. I will put some jack stands. Jack stands. Off. And that comes off. Yeah, so that. Okay. Yeah, I'll put this on the side. Alright, well that 19 mil is out, so technically the jack is doing its job. You can see there's a clear gap there now where the subframe bushing is. So now really we're just gonna drop this thing and see if we kill ourselves. I just
lift up the other side. Okay?
While you're trying to put it into there.
Well, I'm trying to get it to let go of the other side of the bolt. There's a jack stand. There's a jack stand.
Now let's go to the other side and take it off.
This is lunacy. There it is. It's released. Nope, I was wrong. I dropped a fin. See right there? A little bite.
It's dirty. It's super dirty. You can see there, yeah. Wow. No. You'll see that S, and that is your ticket to LSD. Man. Yeah. All right.
Alright, here I'm doing a pre-spray, and then I quickly moved to a trim removal tool because it wasn't budging at all. This is 30 plus years of just grime. US highway grime, so it's basically several rounds of spray, scrub, got the kids to help a little bit. And yeah, switched it up a couple of times. And it was incredible how much everything changed, and then just a bit of like storage prep, so get rid of some rust and spray it down, cover it up, because it didn't come out for like a year.
Is between the actual subframe housing and the bushing, there's this little gap here, and this little gap right there, so it allows you to get a jigsaw blade in there and just cut this little ring off.
I wasn't planning on keeping them. There's a lot of different videos about how to get these out while the subframe is still in the car. This was me basically talking about it's straightforward. You just make sure you get yourself a high quality metal cutting blade, because then you're less likely to skip around and ruin the subframe. And really after that, it simplifies the whole process of being able to use just a standard kind of gear pushing kit.
There's these little bullions here. They're just in the way, so see it? Yeah. Okay. So those are out of the way. So there's these little nubs here that kind of provide channel guidance. So we've got to go smaller. At this point, it really doesn't take much effort to get it out. So all you're doing is just giving yourself an extra bit of height. I guess if you had the pipe or the special tool or whatever it was, or some bonkers thingy, you could. But you know what? They don't want us to keep these cars on the road for some reason, right? I didn't have BMW official museum call me up and say, "Hey, buddy, we noticed you got a car that's not really like around much. Would you like a list, a compendium of all of our special wanker tools?" And which explains why every time I go around the corner, the car would literally feel like the back end was just shimmying all over the place. These are the right on the monies. This one, 8272 to 62. Some people say don't use juice. I think a bit of juice is okay. At least what it does is it helps
things get started. Yeah, that's it. Alright.
What a flawless fit. Look at those gorgeous, garnistic. Again from the other side. Look at that. Perfect orientation, depth. Zabang. I'm much happy. Alright, I'll do the other side.
Alright, throughout the series, I'm going to show myself cleaning incessantly. Because, I mean, aside from having to deal with rust, this is probably going to be consuming half of your time. It's just cleaning stuff up, if you don't mind being completely covered in everything, and painting. Cleaning, paint, clean, paint, clean, paint. Yeah. And here we are. It's been a year since this thing has come out. I've got some thread cleaning brushes, and I'm just going through and cleaning all of the holes, both the threaded and just the standard ones that are going to go through, and a little bit of, like, I guess, rust prevention on some of the flanges. I spent a bit of time. I had a mate of mine who is been a BMW mechanic for decades, and I didn't get to show you the part where we took off the rear case and took a look at the ring gear. I'll put in a link to another channel. The name of a guy is named Sam, and he rebuilt a limited slip differential, put in new clutches and stuff. And so and you basically, if you take a look at the oil, and if you don't find metal particles and it just looks like it's been used, yeah, that happens all the time, and you run a magnet through it and it doesn't pick up anything, then most likely you're in really good shape with regards to clutch plates and other material. This is me just trying to get the last of, like, it's probably 30-year-old, you know, differential fluid. So, and if the ring gear is good and you see nominal wear on it, like the pattern, this is me reusing the rings because really they're not that bad, so just a little bit of transmission fluid, and they smooth up real nice. Then that's it. Get everything reassembled before you fill her up. Get yourself a high quality gear oil to put in there, and that's the one. I had a little bit of trouble when I was, like, initially putting it in because the neck was so long. I think it was actually pushing up against one of the ring gears, and so it wouldn't, I thought it was filling up, or it was, you know, backing up, and I thought, oh, okay, it's full, and it turned out it wasn't full at all. So a second round of that to get it filled up, and that's it. Just tidy things up, and
That's what I have to carry you. What am I gonna... Wait a minute. I got an idea. I've got, I put one of those, you know, transmission thingy, whatever, hat thingies on my, so I can adjust angle. And diff just kind of strapped on. I'm gonna finagle the subframe, and I think we can actually clear all the way in.
And always using a thread locker of some kind. This is a red one because the bolts are, I believe they're M10 M10, if not M12. I have a whole spreadsheet of that. I could have gotten a second set of hands. I don't do that, namely because part of my determination is showing that this can all be done with one person. Yes, it is cumbersome. Yes, there are instances where it adds a significant amount of time because there's a lot of back and forth. I mean, you saw that when the differential fell for the first time. It took me a while to get that out, and yeah. What? That's right, people. It happened again. So, turned it around so that the angle adjustment was in the front, and strapped it down. Thankfully, this was a very rust-free car, so greased up the bolts to just keep them pristine. I use marine grease. It's tacky, and hopefully it'll add longevity to it. And yes, I didn't take the bolts out. I opted for keep the bolts in because I couldn't get them out initially, and I was like, I'll just, line it up. There was a bunch of back and forth to finally get it to settle into the bolts. And once everything was in, there's a little bit of tolerance that needs to be managed, so a little bit of prying, a little finagling to get the mount bolt back in. It's a single bolt that comes off the back. It's typical for E32s. There are several that have like a circular bushing, and after that was in, I get to put the cross supports back in and line those up. They're M13s. There's a little toe hedge, and it runs parallel. So if you look at it, it runs parallel to the body as opposed to the cross support, which comes in at an angle and attaches. Essentially becomes like the cap for the bottom of the subframe bushing, and not really anything that's complex. It's just about reassembling. I've got an episode where I show all of the fasteners that were replated, and so they were zinc and then passivate processed, so they're essentially back to what the original factory standard was. And who doesn't love a little bit of gold?
There we go. Is plugged in correctly. There's only one way to plug it in. There's a horizontal and a vertical. That's that. I believe that's that. And then do these ones.